Another day, another vegan hate video. So this morning I was just minding my own business, editing a YouTube video and just getting some work done, and I decided to take a little gander at my YouTube homepage, and I found this video titled Undeniable Proof That Vegans Are Dumb AF. So I started to watch it. I watched about 50 seconds and I thought, hey, the only way I'm going to subject myself to this is if I can monetize it. So here we are today. We're gonna blind react to this video as a vegan of over 10 years. Let's find out why and what the proof is that I am dumb AF. Okay. Before we jump in, hi, my name is Rose, the dumb AF vegan, also known as cheap lazy vegan. I make vegan videos, so if you want to follow a dumb person like me, subscribe. And if you are a dumb vegan or want to be a dumb vegan like myself, you might want to check out the plant-based bundle. So the plant-based bundle is a current promotion that I'm participating in, which is basically a giant collection of plant-based ebooks, guides, and courses. And it's sold for a massive discount of only $50 total. Yes. And this time it's extra special because I have included 2 of my plant-based ebooks. So I have my Everyday Asian Recipes ebook and my Vegan Sushi at Home ebook. And those 2 ebooks cost $25 each on my website, which means for the same price as those 2 ebooks, you can get over 100 more. So even if you were just interested in like 1 or 2 other ebooks and nothing else, it's still cheaper to get the plant-based bundle. It's a digital product, so you're not gonna be wasting anything. It's an awesome deal. This is a 99% off discount. If you want some workout tips, fitness guides, some holiday recipe ideas, if you want some healthy meal prep ideas, and of course, vegan sushi recipes and Asian vegan recipes, check out the plant-based bundle. Again, it's only $50 total to get the entire bundle, and those ebooks, once you download them onto your device, they are yours to keep forever. So check out the link below. It is only available until December 2nd, so don't miss out, and hopefully you enjoy the plant-based bundle. Okay, so now let's jump into my reaction. First, let me just have a little sip of coffee here.
Vegans! Who doesn't love vegans, mate? Well, everyone who isn't vegan. Probably even animals.
Why would animals not love vegans? I mean, obviously animals don't understand, but you know, if they could understand that we don't want to harm them and that we want to protect them, why would they hate us? Anyway.
I think I found a little grey area or 2 in being a vegan that I don't understand, right? And I want to ask for answers. So here's part 2 of my questions I've always wanted to ask a vegan.
There's a part 1. Interesting.
Subtitle, Why I Think Vegans Are Dumb as F***. Let's go. Like, I get that vegans want to minimize animal suffering, right? Which means that they always want to help animals, of course, right?
How does minimize animal suffering equate to always just wanting to help animals? Because I think what he's trying to imply here is that when you are minimizing animal suffering, that means you always want to help animals no matter what situation. But that's not really what we're saying. We're trying to minimize animal suffering based on the circumstance. We're not saying despite of everything else, you know, ignore every other issue.
But should you always help animals?
We want to do as much as we possibly and practically can to help minimize animal suffering. But that doesn't translate to we should always help animals no matter what.
I was on Instagram one day and I saw a video of this guy who grabbed a shark that was trapped in shallow waters, and he grabbed it and threw it away into proper water, thereby saving its life.
Those people probably were not vegan, just FYI.
Oh wow, what a heartwarming story, right? But then it occurred to me, right?
And also, the heartwarming story, those one-off stories that go viral of random groups helping a random animal like on the street or in the ocean, those are almost always praised by everyone, not just vegans, like everyone that's still eating meat. They're like, oh my god, so heartwarming. Be right back, I'm gonna go eat a burger. It's not only vegans that are super moved by that story. In fact, it's mostly non-vegans.
Vegans should hate this. Like, yes, he helped an animal, right? But the animal that he helped was a shark, which is an apex predator. Like, I get that vegans want to minimize animal suffering, and they do that by always making sure they help animals, right? But helping that shark probably resulted in hundreds, if not thousands of fish dying.
First of all, the logic from the beginning, like I mentioned, doesn't make sense. We didn't say we always want to help animals. That's the thing that you said, okay? You interpreted us wanting to minimize animal suffering and animal exploitation. That's the key word as well. We want to minimize the animal exploitation as much as is possible in order to reduce animal suffering. We also believe that, you know, in the wild, for example, we don't believe that lions shouldn't eat other animals because those are obligate carnivores and that's part of their natural diet and that is how they survive. survive. They can't live any other way. And they also don't have moral agency just like we do. So we have moral agency. We have the ability to survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, especially right now when we have so many resources under the sun and tons of food available. When you have that option and when you know the difference between right and wrong, then we should probably do what we can in order to reduce our impact to animal suffering and animal exploitation. So the main thing that us vegans are against is the way that us humans exploit animals and use them and abuse them for our benefit. That's the main thing. We're not really trying to get involved in the natural world here, but it's because of this giant problem that we've created as humans, which is factory farming, slaughterhouses, the mass destruction to the environment due to animal agriculture. All of those factors is why we are saying, hey, we should probably not do any of this. If we have the option to not participate in it, we should probably avoid it. It has nothing to do with us stopping predators or other animals that are actually key to our environment and our ecosystem. It's not our job to stop them from eating other animals. So this doesn't make any sense. I know a lot of people, a lot of non-vegans like to mention circle of life as if that's like some sort of own to the vegans. Like, oh, what about the circle of life? You don't believe in the circle of life? As if we are positively contributing to the circle of life here. As if we are in any way participating in the natural circle of life on this earth. We are actually completely destroying the natural circle of life. The way that we eat animals is so unnatural and so harmful to our environment. So it's quite comical that people like to use that as an excuse to continue to literally eat factory farmed animals.
But somehow, right, in the eyes of a vegan, that's perfectly justified. Applause to that man whose actions killed those thousands of fish, right? But if that man was to cut out the middleman and just eat that many fish himself, he's now an asshole.
What? So it says here, man does something, saves a shark, an animal known to mass murder because hungry. First of all, it's not mass murder because hungry. It's literally eating his diet that he needs to eat to survive. Difference between that and you eating a McDonald's cheeseburger, big difference here. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. No vegan, like people always ask me, oh, what would you do if you were in like a deserted island and there was nothing else to eat except for meat? I'd be like, yeah, I'll eat the meat. Bad vegan here, I'll eat the meat. Why? Because I'm in a survival situation, okay? But we are not in a survival situation. I am sitting here on my couch, comfortable. I got a fridge. I got tons of plant-based food options available. I don't need to be eating the meat. The shark does not have that option. Why is this so hard for people to understand?
But if that man was to cut out the middleman and just eat that many fish himself, he's now an asshole.
So they're saying, okay, man does something. Instead of saving the shark that will end up eating thousands of fish, how about what if the man eats thousands of fish? It's the same result as before. This is some, like, you have to sit there and think about this, okay? A shark that's in his natural habitat that needs to be eating fish to survive, which also in turn actually makes things go around. He eats the fish.
Okay, I didn't articulate this very well, but basically, if we get rid of all apex predators, that will severely and negatively impact the entire ocean ecosystem, which will lead to overpopulation of the fish that they were supposed to be eating. So this will actually cause more suffering and severe consequences for the ocean population. I know that for most people, this is common sense, so I don't need to articulate it, but apparently I do.
The shark that eats the fish in the ocean that needs to eat the fish to survive, that is very different from a man fishing in the ocean and also depleting the oceans. I'm sure you've heard our oceans are going to be empty by 2048, 2050. And also because of overfishing that humans do, over 300,000 whales and dolphins are killed as a result of bycatch. So we're dealing with extreme overfishing done by humans versus a shark that's living in their natural habitat that eats their natural diet. Otherwise, the shark will die. So you can't compare these two things.
But listen, yes, he saved that shark's lives, right? Whatever. But I thought that vegans' main purpose in life was to stop or minimize the suffering and killing of animals. Right.
Vegans, people who seek to stop or minimize the killing and suffering of animals as brutally and as arrogantly as possible. Why? Because we talk about the issues? The crazy thing is, people make videos like this and they say that we're the mean ones. We're the rude ones. We're the arrogant ones. Is this not an arrogant video? Is this not a rude video? We're talking about issues that matter. Okay, we're not just attacking a group of people and trying to like out logic them just to make yourself feel better about your choices. Okay, so we actually care about an issue that impacts everyone globally, including animals and humans alike.
So should I not kill a few apex predators then? Because it's so dumb, right? Because when it comes to an animal will be like, oh shit, there's a human, you're probably going to eat me, right? And then the vegan's like, no, buddy, I'm a vegan, I'm not going to eat you. And then the animal's like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, can you stop this shark Hitler from genociding our population? And the vegan be like,
I know he's trying to be funny, but there is a difference between an obligate carnivore in the wild eating their natural diet in order to survive and humans participating in mass destruction of the planet and billions of animals suffering. There is no parallel to these two things, especially when we as humans pride ourselves on being moral creatures. We pride ourselves on our ability to know the difference between right and wrong, yet we do the most harm. And we don't need to eat animals to survive, and we are not living in the natural world. So please spare me with this stupid analogy.
And it's kind of weird the love that vegans show for animals in this way, right? Because it's basically a case of, okay, so you love me enough to not kill me, but you don't love me enough to stop anything else from killing me.
What about all of the animals that we kill in our animal agriculture industry? Like, we're talking literal billions, okay? And nobody bats an eye. Yet when there's a cow on the road that's suffering, everyone praises the person that helps them. The world praises the random dude that probably had a hot dog for lunch for helping the cow that's suffering on the road, right? They make a video, it's all cute. What about the billions of animals that are suffering? Wouldn't that be more hypocritical? What about everyone else that's like, oh my God, we can't abuse animals ever. Oh, but you know, vegans are too extreme. Isn't that more hypocritical, sir?
Wow, gee, thanks, mate. What would I ever do without you? Fucking stupid. That's why I say, right, if you're a real vegan, you should be going out of your way to kill apex predators.
This is so stupid. No vegan thinks that in this world, there's no suffering, there's no death, no destruction, no harm. We want to minimize the suffering, especially when it's unnecessary. We want to minimize suffering as much as is possible and practicable. And our contribution to it, killing apex predators, is ultimately not going to actually minimize the suffering because this is going to add to potential overpopulation. It's really going to disrupt the food cycles in the ocean, which we're already doing by the way, overfishing. We are ruining the oceans by overfishing. Okay, that's the bigger problem here, and that's what's actually causing the tremendous amount of suffering. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to stop other animals from eating other animals that they need to eat to survive. Okay? Okay.
Another thing I don't get about vegans, right, is why they're always so fucking angry and rude.
Another just ad hominem attack. Oh, vegans are just rude and so angry and my feelings were hurt. I don't give a fuck. Focus on what we're saying and actually pay attention. If you thought more long and hard about what we actually stand for and what we actually believe in instead of trying to out logic us, which clearly is not working, then maybe you'd understand why we are the way we are. We're angry because we should be angry. Why are you not angry? Why are you not angry at what's happening? You're trying to call us hypocritical or whatever. But what's more hypocritical is the society that claims that they love animals so much and they want to protect animals, but yet they're completely okay with the enslavement, the torture, and the slaughter of billions of animals that is absolutely unnecessary, which is also harming the planet at the same time. So when we see that, it's like the obvious emotion is anger and frustration and the passion to change the world. And yes, I believe that some vegans, they don't really know how to spread the message in an effective way. We can have those discussions, but to only focus on the way that vegans behave instead of why we are trying to talk about this issue is avoiding the root problem, avoiding the actual topic that needs to be discussed. And I wonder why you're avoiding that.
Listen, I'm just trying to be healthy and get all of my nutrients and all that in, right?
Okay, really? Is that really why you eat meat? Be so fucking for real. The reason why you eat meat is because you were raised in a society that eats meat. The reason why you haven't stopped eating meat, because you are used to eating meat and that is how you have always been and it's difficult to change. That is the ultimate truth. You're raised in a society that eats meat. You were born into a family that eats meat. They passed on their diet to you. That's why you eat meat. Okay, there's a reason why you don't eat horse meat, dog meat, cat meat, because you weren't raised in a society that eats those meats, but you were raised in a society that eats cow, chicken, and pig. So that's why you eat those meats. It's not because you sat there and had a logical thinking session about why you should eat meat. It says here, vegans may be at risk of deficiencies in vitamin B12, vitamin D, iron, zinc, calcium, and iodine. Okay, first of all, everyone may be at risk of deficiencies in all of these, okay? This idea that vegans are so unhealthy when literally the majority of the population, this guy's from the UK, do we think the people in the UK are super non-deficient and super healthy? Let's look here. Let's see, 2024 vitamin D deficiency statistics of UK adults. We found that 57% of people had a vitamin D level below the optimum range. Interesting. I wonder if 57% of people in the UK are vegan. And vitamin B12, I supplement with vitamin B12. It's actually really easy. All I do is take vitamin B12 pill and there you go. I can follow a plant-based diet. It's really not that hard. It's not that hard. And when we look at iron deficiencies, it says here, there is a misconception that a vegan diet is missing iron. However, vegans are no more likely to develop iron deficiency anemia than the general population. Interesting. Now, of course, iron is something that you might want to pay attention to, especially if you are more prone to iron deficiencies. But there are things that you could do and foods that you can eat in order to consume and absorb more iron. For example, it says vegans typically consume an adequate amount of iron because their diet is high in vitamin C, which improves absorption of non-heme iron. And again, I'm not saying that vegans cannot be deficient. I'm not saying that vegans can't be unhealthy. It is very, very possible. When you follow any diet, you need to pay attention to what you are eating. And actually, vegans are more likely to pay attention because we are always bombarded with these fake dietitians that think that they know everything about nutrition as soon as we say that we're vegan.
Because a vegan diet doesn't exactly do that too well, does it?
Oh, it says, oh, it's lacking in manliness. I missed this. There's one guy that's vegan and he has a face of vegan gains on there. And then there's another guy that's, I think, supposed to be the non-vegan. It says, oh, the non-vegan has vitamin B12, D, iron, zinc, calcium, iodine, manliness. Ultimately, that's what this is about, right? Men thinking that they are not men unless they eat meat. The age-old trope. If you really think that eating meat is what makes you manly, you don't know anything about manliness, my friend. That is literally the most childish concept I've ever heard of. Oh my god, I'm so manly because I ate a steak. Okay.
I'm sorry, right? But I don't want to look fucking malnourished or double my age like some of you vegan workers do.
I think it's so ironic that this guy made a video with the title that vegans are dumb AF, yet his arguments are dumb AF. Buddy, first of all, reputable dietetic organizations around the world all say a well-planned plant-based diet is healthy for all stages of life. So that is what I pay attention to. Okay, is the data, the scientific data, all of the information that's been collected over the years, okay? Instead of looking at one or two particular individuals that may look older than their age, the physical rate of which you age and the physical signs of aging is heavily determined by genetics. He's showing here a picture of the girl who played Ginny Weasley at 31 years old, and I guess she's vegan, I did not know. But yes, she looks older than 31. That must be the vegan diet. Nothing else has anything to do with it. She looks old, so it's the vegan diet. Well, I could say the same. I just turned 36 years old, my friend. Do I look 36? I think I look younger than maybe the average 36-year-old, but I'm not gonna attribute that to my vegan diet because it's probably mostly genetics. You know, I also drink alcohol, so really I should look older. Like, alcohol is not great for anti-aging, but I drink alcohol, but I also follow a vegan diet. You know, it's a mixture of different things, but I'm not gonna say I look young because I'm vegan. Genetics have a lot to do with it. Also, your race has a lot to do with it. Okay, I'm Asian, and Asians are known to not age as fast. If I look at all my Asian peers, all my Asian friends that are around my same age, we all look pretty young for our age. They're not all vegan, so I'm not gonna say, oh, I look young because I'm vegan. But why do you do the opposite? You know that saying, black don't crack. Black people, they never age. It's not necessarily because they're vegan or not vegan. It's a lot of it to do with genetics. It's very, very difficult to look at someone's appearance and say, oh, you look older because you follow a certain diet. Yes, certain extreme cases, like if you're like a meth addict, then yes, that will probably heavily contribute to how you're looking. But most of the time, it's a huge kind of mishmash of reasons as to why you look a certain way. A lot of it to do with genetics. If you are Caucasian, you tend to have less melanin in your skin, which tends to age you faster. So I do think us vegans, we do need to kind of stop this whole like, oh my God, you look so young because you're vegan. Because then it invites this other side saying, oh, well, these people look old. I hate this game, okay? Stop doing that. Don't look at a few people and say, oh, you look this way because you're vegan, or you look this way because you're not vegan. Because two can play at this game. Do you know how many non-vegans look sick AF? Do you know how many non-vegans look like they're on the brink of death? Do you know how many non-vegans are overweight, unhealthy, all of these things? Like, two can play at this game, so let's not play this game.
Like, listen, mate, inform me nicely, right? And I might just consider it. But be rude to me and not gonna lie, right? I'm gonna go and eat more eggs right now just to spite you.
Oh my God. The age-old argument, oh, if you're nice, I might consider vegan. No, you fucking won't. No, you fucking won't. When were you thinking about considering going vegan? Oh, you make so much logical sense, but because you were like a little angry, I'm not even gonna consider your reasoning at all. Very ironic, the title of this video, Vegans are dumb AF, yet your reasoning for not going vegan is not because we don't have good arguments. It's because, oh, we're a little bit mean, we're a little bit angry. So you hurt my feelings, so I'm just gonna eat extra animal products because I have 2 brain cells left.
That anger didn't work out well for you, did it, mate?
Okay, so it says, furiously and judgmentally tells people to avoid animal products, annoys me enough to make me eat animal products out of spite. Again, you did not eat animal products out of spite. You ate animal products because you grew up eating animal products, and that is what you know, and that is what you do. You have never thought logically about whether or not this is the right path, right? We weren't put on this earth and then given like 2 options, right? Eat animal products or not. We were given the option of eating the animal products. That was the only option. That was the only option that was available to us. And that is what we did. And that is why we continue to do the things that we do, because it's hard to change. It's not because vegans were a bit mean that you eat a lot of animal products. Let's be so fucking for real. And also he keeps using Vegan Gains picture, like the YouTuber Vegan Gains picture, saying like, oh my God, you're so angry. Yes, he is angry. I feel like, yes, I'm getting a bit heated, but I don't think I'm like super angry here. I'm just passionate about this topic, and I'm explaining to you why you are, you know, not the brightest bulb. Okay? And also, like, I just find it funny that the title of this video is basically vegans are dumb AF, yet we're the mean ones. Like, vegans are the mean ones. We're the ones that are just like not logically explaining to you why you should go vegan, even though we have done so and we do that. You just don't listen. You only pay attention to the angry ones because it's more entertaining. It's more viral.
So much anger, mate. You're popping a vein over eggs.
The reason why we are passionate about eggs is because the egg industry is awful. You have to ask yourself why you're okay with it and why you don't get angry over the fact that, first of all, when chicks are born, they are separated, male and female. And then what happens is they keep the female chicks because the female chicks can lay eggs, and they take the male chicks and they grind them up alive. This is a very common practice in the egg industry. Chicks get ground up alive. So yeah, we're angry, and I think we're justified in being angry.
Seriously, is it not the absolute best way to show your love to an animal, right? By killing its apex predator.
We're back to the same thing.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you could show love by killing, could you not? Like, put it this way, right? I could show love to the human race by going back in time and killing Hitler.
Oh my God.
Yes,
I don't even think I need to go into this stupid analogy because I've already explained to you why the whole thing is stupid. He has one argument. This is his argument. Why don't you kill all apex predators? Because what, they're committing genocide? First of all, this is a completely different situation.
If you really love an animal, you'll kill its apex predator.
No, because when you kill apex predators, that disrupts the entire ecosystem. Ultimately, it causes more suffering. And also, again, like I mentioned, this is very different from humans eating factory farmed animals and humans overfishing and overbreeding animals into existence. This is what happens. We breed animals into existence, keep them in factory farms where they can barely move, inject them with hormones so that they grow faster, and then we kill them. That is what we do. That is not what sharks do.
And if you're not doing so, when you have the ability to do so, can you really say you love that animal?
If you're not stopping animal genocide, when you have the ability to do so, can you really say that you love animals? Well, why don't I ask you that question as people of the earth that say that they also love animals? Because most people, when you ask them, do you love animals? They'll say, yes, they love animals. Most people are not vegan. So why don't I ask you that question? If you're not stopping animal genocide, which I would actually argue it's not the sharks eating their natural diet in the ocean in order to survive, that's not genocide, okay? You know what's genocide? What we're doing right now, keeping animals in tiny cages, breeding them, overbreeding them into existence in order to mass slaughter them. If we're not stopping that, can you really say that you love animals? It's so funny because it's like he's almost there. Like you're so close, okay? You're so close. When you're the one that's not stopping eating meat, when that meat is literally the product of factory farms, which one could argue is animal genocide. When you eat those animals, yet in the same breath say you love animals, that's hypocritical. Is that not hypocritical? Maybe this guy will say he doesn't really love animals, but the majority of people will say, when you ask them, do you love animals? Yeah, they'll say yes, because they don't want to look like some kind of psychopath. But if you love animals, then why do you contribute to a system that oppresses them, makes them suffer, kills them way too prematurely? Because that's the system you are contributing to. And yet we're the ones that are hypocrites?
Actually, on second thoughts, right, I think I might have made a bit of a mistake, mate. Because listen, right, I've spent a lot of time in this video saying that in order to show love towards animals, you should go and kill the apex predators. And
I'm getting bored. Does he have another argument? Because
it occurred to me, right, which species the biggest apex predator on Earth actually is. Us. So yeah, don't listen to me, vegans. Ha! Just ignore my advice, okay? Mate, I should ignore it!
So he's saying in order to show love toward animals, you should go and kill their apex predators. That's his stupid argument, sure. But then he realizes the biggest apex predator is us. Wow, at least he realized that.
And also, can I just say, right, one thing that I fully agree with vegans on is leather. No to leather, mate. And not because it's inhumane, right? Fuck that, I don't care, right? But mate,
well, at least he admits that he doesn't give a fuck. So like, I feel like the whole video is stupid because it's like, just say you don't care. Like, just say you don't care. Why do you make these videos? Like, why do you say like, oh my God, like vegans are so dumb? Just say you don't care. Like, I almost respect that more when people just say like, I don't really care. Sure. Don't try to make these logical arguments, okay? Because you always fail when you do.
Seriously, right? Leather is such a crap and overrated fabric. Like, why is it seen as luxurious? Mate, I've got no idea.
I mean, I guess I can agree with that. Leather is literal dead skin from an animal. Like, it's dead skin from an animal that's been dehydrated and dried out. It's actually really disturbing when you think about it. For me, I care because of the ethical argument of killing animals for their dead skin is so, when it's, again, very unnecessary to do so, for a fashion item is so grotesque and so unethical and so weird that I just can't get behind it. Now, I still purchase and use secondhand leather, and I know some vegans are against that. For me, it's more like, you know, reuse, recycle, and if it's not contributing to killing the animal, like if it's not new leather, I feel like it's not contributing to killing the animal, then I think it's better to reuse, because we are also facing an issue where we are producing too many goods and we're buying too many goods, and we have this overconsumption problem, which contributes to a huge amount of environmental destruction. So I still purchase secondhand leather, and a lot of vegans I know do as well. But ultimately, it is still dead skin from an animal. Like, it's literal dead animal carcass. That is what we are calling and rebranding as leather. We kind of see it as this like really luxurious product when it's really just dead cow skin. Let's be so fucking for real.
Fuck leather, right? I don't know how the world got tricked into thinking that this shit fabric is a luxury fabric, right? Because it fucking isn't.
Okay, I mean, at least at the end we agree there, but that video was dumber than expected. And I know that people are probably gonna be under his video, you know, agreeing with him and thinking that it's such like a great argument. But, oh, actually there are some good comments here. Let me read some comments. Veganism isn't about minimizing animal suffering. It's about not condoning the exploitation of animals by humans, arguing that we can make a conscious choice not to cause unnecessary harm. A predator eating another animal is a natural order. Human exploitation, vegans argue, is not. Bingo. And most people would agree to some extent based on what animal we're talking about. In the Western world, if one would breed dogs for meat, most people would call them a monster. With pigs or cows, however, it's another day, another farmer. No, I'm not vegan. But hey, you kind of understand where we're coming from here. And someone wrote here, why apex predators shouldn't be killed. Each organism fulfills an ecological niche. This just means that they ensure a functional ecosystem dynamic. For example, tertiary predators such as sharks, whilst they consume certain fish, they ensure that these fish populations do not exponentially grow. If all sharks were eliminated, there would be cascading effects. These fish, which can now reproduce excessively, will be present in abundance within the population, leading to the food they consume substantially decreasing in quantity and so on. So yes, again, another person that actually understands a little more than this person. And someone wrote, poor guy never learned about the consequences of removing predators from an ecosystem. It's just so funny to call vegans stupid, yet you are making such a primitive argument. I don't know what's the right word. Like, it's very elementary the way this person is thinking. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this impromptu video. Let me know down below your thoughts. I would love to know. Thumbs up this video if you liked it, okay? Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you are also a fellow dumb vegan, or if you enjoy dumb vegan content. And of course, don't forget to check out the plant-based bundle. Once again, that is $50 for 110 different plant-based ebooks, guides, and courses. 2 of my ebooks are included, everyday Asian recipes and vegan sushi at home, so you can make some delicious Asian recipes and also delicious vegan sushi at home. Keep out of the oceans, guys, okay? This is how you help the oceans, by making plant-based sushi, okay? So yeah, don't miss out on that plant-based bundle, only $50, but it lasts only until December 2nd. So make sure you grab it now before it is gone. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!